I wasn't even supposed to be in Terry Grove that summer. The plan had been set since March. Fly out to Tampa to spend 4 weeks with my Aunt June, help her redecorate the guest room, and escape the sleepy boredom of small-town Oregon. I was looking forward to beaches, thunderstorms, and eating way too much seafood. Then Aunt June landed in the hospital 2 days before my flight. Appendicitis, emergency surgery, recovery time. No visitors for at least 2 weeks. Just like that, my summer plans unraveled. I just turned 16 that May. I wasn't old enough to work legally, and my parents didn't trust me driving solo beyond our neighborhood yet. Most of my close friends were off doing something. Alana was at theater camp. Josh was interning with his uncle in Bend. And Mia was in Montana with her cousins on some wilderness trip that looked frankly awful. So I stayed behind in Terry Grove. Our town wasn't even on most maps. 30 minutes from Eugene if traffic was kind, and nestled near a green belt that turned into forest after about half a mile. It wasn't creepy exactly, just quiet, predictable. One grocery store, 2 gas stations, and a lot of neighbors who'd lived there since the early 90s. We lived on Willow Lane, a street so tidy and uniform it could have been pulled from a real estate brochure. Our cul-de-sac had 9 houses, most of them single-story with wide porches, clean lawns, and wooden mailboxes with little red flags. Everyone knew everyone, at least enough to wave or make small talk while raking leaves. That's how I knew the Mathers. Mark and Lacey Mather lived 5 doors down with their daughter Tessa. I didn't know them well, just casual block party conversations. Mark worked in tech sales. Lacey was a nurse. Tessa was 6, loud, bright, and the kind of kid who spoke in non-stop sound effects. I didn't think much of them until the morning Lacey showed up at our doorstep. It was a Thursday, hot already, even at 8:15 a.m., and I was still in pajama shorts, making toast and scrolling on my phone when the doorbell rang. I assumed it was a delivery. When I opened the door, I was surprised to see Lacey Mather standing there, flushed and flustered, keys jangling in her hand. "Hi, Rachel, right?" she asked quickly. "Sorry to drop in like this. I'm in a bit of a bind. Are you busy today?" I blinked. No, not really. "Do you babysit?" My mouth opened, then closed again. "I mean, not officially," she exhaled. "Our sitter canceled last minute, and I have to be at the hospital for a double shift. Mark already left for Portland this morning. I know it's short notice, but could you watch Tessa just for today? Until 3:30 or so? I'll pay, of course." I hesitated. I'd never babysat solo before. But what else was I going to do? Watch reruns all day? "Sure," I said. Relief flooded her face. "You're a lifesaver." "Thank you. I'll text Mark too, just in case. She's super easy, snacks in the pantry, showtime until 11, and then I usually have her play outside or do coloring. No allergies. Emergency contacts are on the fridge." Before I could ask anything else, she waved, gave me a folded sticky note with her number, and practically sprinted back to her SUV. The Mather house felt different from ours. Warmer tones, lots of framed quotes on the walls. "Live, laugh, love," next to a vintage coffee print. Tessa was on the floor in unicorn pajamas, halfway through a bowl of cereal, surrounded by plastic dinosaurs. She looked up. "Are you the new sitter?" "I guess I am," I smiled. "Cool. Want to see Mango?" "Who?" "My lizard." She dragged me by the hand toward the corner of the room, where a small tank glowed under a heat lamp. Inside, a pale orange gecko clung to the glass, motionless. "He eats crickets," she whispered. "Sometimes he doesn't chew." I nodded, impressed. "Mango's cool." The next couple of hours were surprisingly easy. Tessa showed me her Lego stash, narrated entire episodes of Bluey in different voices, and by 11 she was in the backyard doing cartwheels in the grass. I sat on a patio chair under the umbrella, sipping water, half reading an old paperback I found in my backpack. The air smelled like warm earth and mowed grass. That's when the doorbell rang. I glanced at my watch. 1:22 p.m. Odd timing. I wasn't expecting anyone, and Lacey said nothing about deliveries. I told Tessa to stay outside and walk to the front door. There's a narrow vertical window to the left of it, half covered by a sheer curtain. I peeked through it. A man stood on the porch. Not young, maybe late 30s or early 40s. Tall, tan skin, bearded, wore a faded green flannel over a black tee, jeans, scuffed work boots. No clipboard, no uniform, no truck in the driveway. He rang the bell again. Something in my chest tightened. I kept the door shut and called through it. "Hi, can I help you?" He stepped closer. "Hey there, I'm with Ridgeview Energy. We're doing neighborhood meter inspections. Gas lines, breaker boxes, that kind of thing. Won't take long." I stared at him through the glass. "I'm just babysitting. The owners aren't here." "No problem," he said smoothly. "I don't need anyone to sign. Just a quick visual. Helps with fire safety. Real fast." His tone was calm, practiced, too comfortable. "No thank you," I said, backing away. "Please leave." He paused, then nodded once, smiled faintly, but didn't leave immediately. He stayed on the porch for several seconds, hands in his pockets, like he was waiting for something. Eventually, he stepped off, walked down the driveway, and disappeared behind the hedges. I locked the door. When I turned around, Tessa was standing behind me, staring. "That's the man," she said softly. "What man?" "The one from last week. He came to the door. Mommy told me not to answer." My skin went cold. I texted Lacey immediately. "Me. A guy from Ridgeview Energy just came to the door saying he's doing meter inspections. Sounded sketchy, said he didn't need anyone home." Lacey. "That's not real. We don't have Ridgeview anything. Are you okay?" Me. "I told him to leave. He walked off. But Tessa says he came last week too." Lacey. "What?" "Stay inside. Lock the doors." "I'm calling Mark." I checked every window. Then I peeked through the side curtain in the kitchen. There was a black pickup parked across the street now. Windows tinted. Engine off. I couldn't see anyone inside. But something told me it was him. He hadn't left. I didn't want to scare Tessa, so I asked if she wanted to make a blanket fort. She was thrilled. We built one in the living room with couch cushions and 2 sheets I found in the laundry room. She crawled in with her crayons and didn't notice how often I kept peeking outside. He was still in the truck, not moving, not using his phone, just sitting. Around 2:05, I heard the side gate creak, the one leading to the backyard. My stomach dropped. I ran to the back window and lifted the blind an inch. He was there, standing by the fence near the trees, closer than before. I couldn't see his face, but I could see the worn flannel. He wasn't holding tools. He wasn't on the phone. He wasn't supposed to be there. I ran to Tessa. "Change of plans," I said. "Let's play hide and seek. Upstairs." She didn't argue. She could see something was wrong. In her room, I locked the door, turned off the light, and pulled her into the closet. I kept my phone in my hand, thumb shaking as I dialed. The dispatcher was calm and clear. I gave the address, described the man, said I felt unsafe. She said officers were already nearby and to stay hidden. We waited. Tessa clutched my arm, whispering something about mango. Downstairs, I heard movement. A tap on the glass. Not the doorbell. A knock. Then footsteps around the back. Then nothing. Minutes crawled by. Then came the chirp of a siren, distant but growing. The dispatcher confirmed it was them. The officer knocked. I verified his badge through the peephole before opening the door. He was alone. He took my statement, circled the property, and found shallow boot prints in the side yard. Nothing else. No truck. No man. "Guy's probably gone," he said. "But we'll file this and keep a patrol car nearby for the next few days." Lacey and Mark came home by 3:30. Lacey hugged me, then hugged Tessa even tighter. They were shaken, grateful, worried. They paid me $60. I didn't ask for it. I didn't babysit again after that. Not for Tessa, not for anyone. Sometimes I still think about that man, how calm he was, how easy he made it sound, how safe he tried to seem, because he didn't shout. He didn't break anything. He didn't pull a weapon or scream threats. He just knocked and waited. Hi everyone, I hope you enjoyed the story. Don't forget to comment and subscribe to my channel. If you haven't already, I'll see you again with another horror story. Until then, bye.